This last Friday was Friday the 13th. And Horror Night Nightmares decided to use the opportunity to treat us to a brand new spec map for HHN35. Horror Night Nightmares blessed us with our first spec map for this year's event back at Christmas time, which really got the excitement going as there were some big heavy hitters on that map. Let's have a look at it to go over what was actually on there. So here's the map itself, and if we go clockwise starting in the bottom left, we have an elf and a jack-in-the-box that we thought could be a Jack vs. Oddfellow house, an upside-down clock that looks like Stranger Things 5, a pincushion that could be Hellraiser, some eggnog looked to be Welcome to Derry, a wolf seemed it might be Scary Tales, some cigarettes and a lighter were either Black Phone 2 or Sinners, a combination lock was Resident Evil, and a rocker skeleton hand looked like Heavy Metal Hell. From what we saw with that spec map, everything did look pretty exciting. Let's have a look now at the brand new spec map and see if any of those do get carried over and what gets replaced. So here is our brand new spec map. As you can see, our shows and scare zones all have a knife representing them, meaning there are no clues for these just yet. However, we do have clues for all of our houses right now, as opposed to the last spec map that only had 8 houses. So in the same fashion as the last one, let's go over these clockwise, starting down in the bottom left. First up, we still have our elf and our jack-in-the-box picture, which definitely makes it seem that a Jack vs. Oddfellow house will be coming this year. And with it being an anniversary year, having a legendary house with some past icons isn't a huge surprise, but it will definitely be a welcome house. I'm personally loving that it's being speculated in a soundstage, which gives it plenty of room for big sets and big scenes. Next up we have a new picture, which is a burning book. This one seems to insinuate that Evil Dead Burn, a brand new movie that's coming out later this year, could be coming to HHN35. This is the newest installment in the Evil Dead series, and I personally would not be upset if this actually did come. If you don't know, HHN Orlando was supposed to get Evil Dead Rise back, 2 years ago? But it ended up slipping through the cracks right at the last minute. So hopefully we get a redemption this year with Evil Dead Burn. The Evil Dead movies are always fantastic. Lots of scares, lots of gore, lots of crazy costumes. So that will translate very well into a house. Hopefully we get a little Evil Dead redemption this year. Following our burning book, we have our upside down clock again. So it looks like Stranger Things is still on the map, and that's okay by me. I've enjoyed every Stranger Things house that has come in the last few years, so I'm ready to see the epic conclusion to it all this year. I'm personally expecting some big cool sets. Obviously give us Vecna, give us the Mind Flayer. I'm hoping they have lots of Demogorgons, more than they had in the actual show this season. So give me everything to scare the crap out of me one more time, Stranger Things. Next up, we have a new picture, a paw print. This one could be a number of things. The first thing that I thought of when I saw this picture was the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, which was a scare zone at last year's event. It's not unheard of to have a scare zone turn into a house, and I think this one could have some cool potential. It was my favorite scare zone of the year. It had a great storyline that went with it, the cool costumes that went along with it. I think it would translate very well into a house. Would it be the scariest house ever? Probably not, but I think it would be super fun and enjoyable. I would love to see it fleshed out into its own house. However, people online have also pointed out that this paw print is very reminiscent of the Naughty Dog logo, which is the studio behind The Last of Us. We had a Last of Us house a couple years ago, was that 2 years ago now? And it was enjoyable. I wouldn't be sad to see another Last of Us house come to this year's event, but I also wouldn't be mad if it wasn't Last of Us or if Last of Us got chopped for something else. In my opinion, I think there are other and better IPs that could come and could work with HHN a little bit better than The Last of Us. Okay, following the paw print, we have the pincushion again. Hellraiser is still on the menu, and I know a lot of us are really excited about this one. Hellraiser has been making its rounds in the rumor mill since before HHN34 even ended, so I'm happy that this one looks more and more real each and every spec map we get. There is a ton of potential for this IP with Horror Nights. Pinhead was made to be at this event, so I really hope that this one does come to fruition. The Fast and Furious queue has a picture of bloody intestines. I wasn't sure what this could be, but I saw people online interpreting this very literally, as in it could be HR Blood and Guts, an HHN character that has made a couple of appearances at past events. With this being an anniversary year, it'd be great to see some past characters that are tied right to HHN get a little bit more of their lore explored. We've never been to an HR Blood and Guts event. I think they were, HHN 21 and one not too long ago, I think post-COVID. but we weren't able to go right after COVID. So I would be excited to see what HR Blood and Guts is all about. Over on the other side of the park, we still have our photo of the lighter and SIGs, but without the fun holiday overlay graphics. Sinners has really taken over the speculation for this one, which is fine. I personally am not a crazy fan of this being a Sinners house. Honestly, I think a Sinners house would be kind of boring. The movie itself didn't have enough sets, in my opinion, to make it a very cool HHN house. But I also like scary vampires. I wouldn't be upset with this one. I do think there could be better. I know I said it in my last video, I would still prefer a Black Phone 2 house over a Sinners house, but I trust HHN. They know what they're doing. They'll make a scary house either way. Next up, we have a new picture of 2 skeletons dancing. The very first thing that came to my mind when I saw this was Lady Gaga. She has many inferences of this over the years that could align with 2 skeletons dancing. All the way back to the Born This Way music video, she has Rick Genest, aka the zombie boy, in that music video, and then she has a bunch of skeleton makeup, like a skull makeup on her face, and they dance in it. Kind of a literal interpretation here. Her most recent song that she released is also called The Dead Dance. Kind of fits along here. And her last album, Mayhem, had a lot of darker tones. All of the music videos with it were darker, were grimier, were scarier. I think all of this could translate into a really cool house, and I personally really like her music, so I wouldn't be sad to see this one come. I mean, if you can turn The Weeknd into a very cool, fun, scary house, Lady Gaga, especially her newer stuff here, is written for it. Following our dancing skeletons, we have a picture of an alien wearing a cowboy hat. I'm expecting this to be an original, and it could be something just as simple as cowboys versus aliens. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I love aliens. It's been a long time since we've had aliens come to an HHN event. I remember we saw the Scare Zone, I think it was in 2017, Alien Invasion. That was so cool. I would like them to bring that into a house form. So hopefully this one is true and they can bring this aliens idea into fruition. And lastly, we have a picture of what appears to be toiletry items or cosmetic items, one featuring a radioactive symbol. This one had me a little stumped, so I looked online, and the closest that I, and by I mean people online, could come up with was potentially a Vanity Ball house. Vanity Ball was a scare zone in HHN29, and it featured doctors looking to mutilate people, plus their mutilated creations wandering through the scare zone. I think this has potential to be a very fun and very creepy house. But I also don't feel like there will be 2 original houses based off scare zones this year. So I honestly feel like it could maybe be Vanity Ball, maybe be Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. I doubt it could be both. I'm not complaining if it's both. I think both would make fantastic houses and it would be very cool. I guess it's an anniversary year too. You never know. They could just be bringing these old ideas back, some favorite ideas from past years, and just making the houses now the coolest events based off the coolest scare zones from the past. We'll see. If we look at all these speculations, it does fit the bill for the usual IP original splits, 5 of each. Now, let's be real, we're still half a year away from the event starting, so there's still plenty of time for things to get mixed up. In no way is this spec map going to be 100% true. Some of them obviously are. Some of them are definitely locked in, other ones definitely aren't. They're obviously working through some things. There could be huge switch-ups. So you never know what's actually going to come until it's officially announced by HHN. As we inch closer to the event this year, more and more is going to come out, more spec maps are going to come out, and there's so much more for us to talk about. So now I'm going to turn it over to you. Do you agree with these assumptions here? Are there any ones that I missed that you think it could be? Which ones are you most excited for? Which ones are you least excited for? Let me know in the comments. I would love to talk about HHN as much as we can as we lead up to HHN35. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you want more content on HHN and theme park stuff in the future. You can also follow me on Instagram at Canuck Park Hopper for more behind the scenes info. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll see you in the fog.